All right, we're going to dive into the next part here, and I just want to say we announced that the $10,000 upgrade if we hit it on Indiegogo. Doomsday Kingdom, check it out. It is a blood spattered spot varnish on the actual book itself. Now, spot varnishing is not cheap to do. That's why we saved it for a higher goal. But if we hit 10K, not only do you receive the spot varnished updated look, but you also receive 5 prints, and that includes everyone who is already backed. 5 prints, a bookmark, and maybe possibly another surprise. Those who signed up got the trading card as well. But let's dive right into this. This is St. Mary's Hospital, I believe. Day 2, Seattle. You know, the game has been released and out for a few weeks now, and when it first released, now this is a game that I loved part 1, and when it was first released, matter of fact, I would love to go back and replay part 1 to come down and see how accurate they made this. I understand wanting to do some touch-ups, but when it comes to things that are canon, I am so crazy as to say even the tile pieces need to be the same. I'm nuts with it. Anyway, this is a game where we waited, years for. I played the first one day 1. When it came out, I was there, picked it up, played it, fell in love with it, replayed it. We waited for these characters in the next part of this story. So when the game dropped and I replayed it, and I was just stunned with, and again, I want to choose my words carefully. I didn't immediately hate it, but I knew in my gut, oof, this was not something I enjoyed, and it's not, I didn't have that same feeling as the first one where just, oof. And now that it's been out for a few weeks, it's settling that The Last of Us just isn't, for me, you can love it, still, but it's just not the great franchise it was. It dropped to part 1 being something incredible, but part 2 for me kind of crippled it. My excitement for the show has dropped almost to nothing. I only care about the atmosphere and the creatures, to be honest, the monsters, the infected in the show. I can't wait to see how clickers look in real, real life clickers on the show. Oh man, it's gonna be so cool. Live action, it's called.
What is this?
Now, I'm pretty sure if can I look at that again? I'm pretty sure if you replay this is the doctor's room that Marlene and Jerry are talking right there, right? And doesn't Abby come in this way? And in the first one, we come down the hallway. I'm almost positive we come down this hallway and right in to that room. So I'm going to look and see if you can enter this room in the first game or if that's just a door that's closed. I don't remember the wall being like a children's hospital, but it most likely was that. Or not a children's hospital, but a children's section. It's gotta be. Windy. Yeah, now that it's settling, I'll be honest, I really enjoy this world and gameplay and the characters. The graphic-wise, it's stunning, and we still have Abby's whole section. But I'll be real with you. I'm at the point right now where I kind of regret starting this upload. I kind of want to just drop The Last of Us and move along. There's still plenty I want to discuss. A lot of it's kind of negative, though, because I can't get it out of my head. All the different types of just awesome stuff they can do. Jerry died over here in my gameplay, but just saying. All the different types of story stuff they could have done. It just blows my mind they didn't choose any of those. Last thing, and I'll shut up and go into the duffel bag. Oh, fuck this part. Now that I play it, doesn't it just end with her and Joel talking and that's it? The way they broke up their chapters is kind of like, I guess you can't really fault them. What else can you do? They popped in this flashback. I guess the pacing. This chapter is like 10 minutes, and then the chapter before it was like 3 hours. Anyway, last thing before I shut up, I talked earlier about Joel. Everyone overlooks the fact that Joel, as a parental figure, didn't know without a shadow of a doubt that Ellie would have given up her life, would have given up her future to save mankind. Most of the people they come across are not nice, not good people. Just because you cure them of this infection doesn't mean everyone's going to be nice. Look at modern civilized society now. We still have plenty of people that are greedy, murderers, rapists, killers, yada yada. Well, the same as murderers, but you get my point. Just because you get comfortable, and you get medicine does not mean people are going to be instantly good. So Joel could have, and I'm sure in some way, he kept it from her because he didn't want the weight on her shoulders that she has the cure. But what if she didn't want to die? Like, if my child was the cure for humanity, for this, outbreak, I would probably keep that from her, because what if she didn't want to die? But again, even more interesting, what if her impulse reaction was that she wanted to die? Right? But Joel lies to her. And she finds friends and a family, and she falls in love in Jackson. And guess what? At first, she wanted to die to cure the infection. And I find this like wildly interesting, so hear me out. At first, she wanted to die. Joel steals her from the hospital, kills everyone, saves her, and then takes her to Jackson, where she finds friends, a family, a community, and she falls in love, deeply in love. And guess what? By the time she finds out that she could have been the cure, she is conflicted because she no longer impulsively wants to die. She still wants, to be the cure, but she's fighting that other feeling of wanting to live, That is so interesting. And then having Abby and them maybe coming out looking for Ellie, finding a new doctor and coming looking for Ellie. And that's probably going to be partly the plot line in part 3, where they come looking for Ellie, or maybe looking for revenge and finding Ellie also, thinking, there's a slim chance of finding her too. And then the story has more depth to it and more of that. What's the word I'm looking for? Shit. It's right on the tip of my tongue. But, also, isn't this Abby on the recording?
Most people have left already. I don't know which group I'm gonna join. I was one of the ones that wanted to go after the smuggler and the girl. They said, even if we found her, or by some miracle found someone else that's immune, it'd make no difference. Because the only person who could develop a vaccine is dead. Or by some miracle found someone else that's immune, it'd make no difference. Found someone else that's immune, it'd make no difference. Because the only person...
I can't get the voice, but it sounds so familiar.
Come here. What the hell are you thinking? Running off in the middle of the night like that. You talk to me. You don't just leave me a goddamn note.
Tell me what happened here. If you lie to me one more time, I'm gone. You will never see me again. But if you tell me the truth, I'll go back to Jackson. No matter what it is. Just say it. Joel.
Making a vaccine would have killed you. So I stopped them.
Oh my God. Don't you fucking touch me! I'll go back. But we're done.
And we got some shit-ass writing. I'll go back when we're done. You know why? Because they need to condense this into a flashback and get right to the point. I cringe at the scene because up until that point right there, I like it. Now, I agree with a lot of other criticism that Joel is, how do you put it? There's a saying for it. I think it's not politically correct, but he has caught the screenwriter's retardation. I forget what the word is, but I heard it. It's like a slick way of saying, because screenwriters, when you're taught how to write when you're taught how to write a screenplay, if you read any screenwriting book, take any screenwriting seminar, they teach you how to write dialogue, but they don't teach you to write realistic dialogue. Now, you can learn that, but mainstream Hollywood teaches you how to write dialogue by writing the words that you need for the scene, the specific words for plot and for emotion and for the characters, but you make it more specific and direct. One example of a real stupid rule for screenwriting is your characters can never say what the audience already knows. That's why in The Walking Dead, when Beth gets kidnapped and yada yada yada, Rick asks about Beth or something and Daryl goes, "She's just gone." You know, that's why there's that really stupid piece of dialogue. Gone like dead? Gone like you raped her and killed her and threw her in a ditch? Gone like someone kidnapped her? Gone like she ran away? Gone like she killed herself? What do you mean she's just gone? Did she go nuts? You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's the same here where you have Joel saying stuff in real life. And keep this in mind, because a lot of people, it doesn't have to be like real life, bro. But in the same flip side, those are the same people saying Joel's death was cool because, you know, not in real life, people just die in crazy ways and you don't get to say goodbye and yada, yada, yada. Anyway, in a more grounded and realistic conversation between these two, he would come out and straight say it. I agree up until that point. But he would also say, listen, kiddo, before... You know, you need to know the whole picture. It wasn't so simple. You got to understand, I asked to see you, and they turned like straight gun on me. If I moved wrong, they were going to kill me. So I said, screw it at that point. I couldn't trust them, couldn't trust what they were saying. I was not about to walk away without finding out from you if this is what you want. So I killed them, and I kept killing them until I got to the infirmary. And then the doctor pulled a knife on me. All I wanted to do was take you out of there, make sure shit was on the up and up. So I had to stab him because he was going to stab me and kill me for grabbing you. He would clarify it some. Would that cure it all? No, they would still have this conflict between them. But that goes into some of the criticism that people have that I agree with, where Joel says he's got that screenwriter's block where he just says what the screenwriter wants him to say, which isn't the whole truth. I stopped them is not the whole truth at all. The whole truth is I wanted to see you and they threatened my life. So I killed them, and then I went to get you and they threatened me again. So I killed him. And then I got you out of there. And here's a bigger thing, and I'll go on with it. Marlene is the biggest plot hole because Marlene and Ellie were super hella close. And after that point in time in part 1, Ellie never mentions or asks about Marlene at all. Did she die of the gunshot wound? Did she die later on? Is she still alive? It's never brought up. It's insane how much I'm in amazement at how this game was made. The choices, the character choices. Oh, sorry. Ooh, sorry about that. The choices in the plot and the choices in the character work, and I am just baffled the more I've replayed it. And again, too, it's one of my all-time favorite gameplay. How even in scenes that I think looked stupid or plot, the dialogue falls apart. Like, that's a really good scene and moment between Joel and Ellie, and if you love it, I don't blame you. It looks crisp. The character facial expressions are on point, and it's just gorgeous. But when you look at it from, when you look at it, let's say when you're not blinded by the beauty, and you look at the inner beauty, it's kind of like you see a gorgeous girl. You're like, oh, I can have that, But when you look at the inner beauty and you're like, oof, she's kind of a bitch. She's not nice to my friend. She's, mean to my kid. I mean, I don't give a shit how good looking she is. Bitch gotta go, Anyway, so when you look past that a little bit, you can see some of the flaws crack through. Now, if you love everything but maybe one or two scenes, I'm getting off point. The point is, I can see how people really love, and I really love certain scenes. That's why I am going to be replaying this game quite a bit, mostly for the world and the actual gameplay. Like, we don't have any other game to replace it. If you gave me enough money to make Doomsday Kingdom, the video game, and it looked and played like this, even without a cinematic cutscenes, because all we had money for was the gameplay, I would probably never pick up The Last of Us 2 ever again. And that is gutting to say, because I love Joel and I love Ellie, but I would never pick it. Again, if you remastered part 1 with the gameplay and the world, made it a bit bigger, added some only gameplay stuff, don't mess with any cinematics, but the graphics and the gameplay were like part 1, I would never pick up part 2 ever again. It's only because, as someone who loves a post-apocalyptic environment and zombie-like monsters, I love the clickers, though. The clickers are so awesome. As someone who loves that shit, if I had a replacement, I would never touch this again. That's how, gutting the story is. I think it's just every time I rewatch it, it falls apart. But a lot of characters like Lev is flat. And I've had this conversation. Now, when I say this, I know there's plenty of you out there who will not be honest, and you'll go and replay it and watch cutscenes, and you'll look for stuff positive to say. But when I am talking to someone who likes The Last of Us 2 and they love the characters, and we're one-on-one where they don't have time to think or go research, when I ask them what they love about Lev, I get this. I get the stutter. I get it with Abby. I get it with Lev. And you know what? I know why a lot of them, not everyone. I know why a lot of people say they love it, and it comes with some of the cheap trick stuff. Plus, Abby's stuff is fun to play. She's a brute. She's a monster. She just thrashes. She gets cool guns. She gets a neat little protector storyline. But again, these little elements will cling to you, and you're like, oh, yeah. Like the ending of part 1 it's a parlor trick. It's just a magician trick. They didn't give you an ending with a buff and healthy Abby where Ellie fights her, because most of you would be saying, yeah, kill Abby. No. Instead of giving you a rabid, snarling, vicious adult dog that's ready to rip your face off, and they put that in front of you and they say, shoot the dog, you will shoot it. Dog lovers would shoot it because that's a vicious, wild, sick animal. Deadly animal. But if I put down a little puppy in front of you and I say, shoot it, you're not going to shoot it. And most people will not. They'll be like, fuck no, what you mean no? That's the parlor trick for the ending of part 2. It's not intelligently crafted. They just tricked you by putting a puppy in front of you and saying, oh no, would you kill that puppy? Look at her. We starved her. We took her muscles. She's all weak and sunburnt and beaten. You're not going to stab the puppy, are you? You know what I mean? It's a fucking cheap trick, man. Anyway, there's not a lot of gameplay here at all, so I guess I had to ramble to give you at least something. And the funny part is most people know it, so no one's going to watch this video, but I feel like I had I'm going to steal that analogy and put it in a different video somewhere, because fuck, man. I don't know. This game is such a fucking disappointment. Such a fucking disappointment, yo. And it's, at the same time, it is so fucking incredible, But, yo, take the story away, and this game is, whoosh, amazing. Put the story in it, and it's such a fucking disappointment, yo.